Finally some coffee. Hello you guys and welcome to another month's reset video. It's really bright right now. I think it's about to get dark. It's a rainy day at the moment, so fair warning. I'm so excited for today's video. I feel like, I guess January at a high level was full of just like getting on track with all of my goals, feeling very accomplished and productive. Then my birthday was like late January. I had a friend in town and you know, it was just like lots of fun, and now I'm kind of playing catch up. And so normally I feel very prepared going into these videos, but today it's like I haven't had time to think about this until right now. So this is like a true February 1st in the moment reset that feels just more like a pause. Like this is like a slow pause, and then like I have just so much in the few days coming up immediately. So big month ahead, but I hope all of you guys had a wonderful January. I feel like a lot of people always talk like January just drags on and on, but to me, I guess maybe it is because it's my birthday. I just like, you know, I'm having the time of my life in January. What an intro. Let's go ahead and get started. If you watch these videos from me, you know I normally just stay in one place for the whole video, but today I have so many things on my to-do list. They all kind of pair with an area on my habit tracker, like an area of my life that I set goals for. So we're just gonna kind of be jumping around to different locations to give you guys an idea of the outline. It's always gonna be timestamped below, but first I'm gonna be doing some January reflections, and then we're gonna be going through the areas of health, fitness, general lifestyle routines and habits, content and work goals, relationships, and lastly, house projects and kind of like tasks I guess I needed to get a handle on in January. I'm just gonna kick this off with some January reflections. Kind of the big things that stand out for the past month. We're hosting a little Galentine's party. This is gonna be so brief because I have a vlog coming up next that like kind of goes into some of this stuff, but I just had my birthday on the 25th, so thank all of you guys for the birthday wishes. If you were someone who did that, that made me really happy on that day. My best friend Caroline was in town. We hired a private chef for that. It was so much fun. Trying to keep this to a minimum here. Those are kind of just like the main highlights. Oh, Giselle and I had a fun staycation. It was also like an early Valentine's thing. And otherwise it's just been, I feel like, a pretty balanced month. That was my word of the year, was trying to get a handle on just like having a better balance across all areas of my life. Previously, I feel like the two areas that were up at the top were work and my relationship, and there was very little room left for just like my self-care or just like mental health and like gratitude and fitness and, you know, just being intentional in all the other areas of my life. Those were always just kind of on the back burner. So that is like still my goal of the year, and I feel like in January I made some great strides in that direction, and so I am just like feeling better this month. Like I just feel so good, so excited, like so accomplished coming off of the past few weeks. So now moving on into my habit tracker reviews. You guys love this spreadsheet. This is like my type A dream. Just like a brief overview, you can see what each day looks like. It's broken down into all the different sections, and then here on the right side it shows just like the totals, if it's like a checkbox thing, like how many days of the 31 days did I do X. So I'm going to hop into my to-do list and walk you guys through resetting for February. All right, let's zoom in here. So kind of first on my to-do list for today that I need to get done is just like a brief cleanup of my room. It's not crazy. I'm trying to just fully reset as we get into February. So first section in this reset is going to be going through kind of my lifestyle routine habits. You may remember in my January kickoff video, I feel like there was a lot of good information in that video. I'm not gonna fully go through it, but I just did kind of like a life audit, thinking of like my ideal self and like what does my ideal morning look like, what does my ideal night look like, and sort of breaking that down into specific habits. One of those being making my bed every day. I didn't do so well on that one in January, but just did it today, so strong start for February. So first kind of area I want to review, and I've been struggling with this area kind of, is my general like phone use. So I made it a goal to, in the morning and at night, like wake up, spend a max of 15 minutes scrolling on social media, and then like get out of bed. Originally, you guys might remember the goal was get out of bed without scrolling, and I realized that was not realistic just for like actually helping myself wake up. So once I amended that to 15 minutes, I like can do that every day, no problem. I wake up a little bit, I get out of bed. I've made it a goal for every night in the evening to have around like 2 hours of just like unwind time that I'm not on my phone. That's like quality time with Giselle. And I did that like a little more than half the time. But the area I definitely was lacking in was my nighttime phone usage where I get in bed. So only 8 out of 31 days did I cap my scrolling at 15 minutes or less and then go to sleep. So that is definitely an area I'm really wanting to focus on. And on kind of like the creative unwinding note, basically I also made it a goal that I didn't want all of my nights to look the same where I'm just getting on the couch and watching TV. As the weeks go on and stuff, it's like I feel like I never am dedicating time to like creative hobbies I enjoy and like things that are restful, like drawing or reading or things like that. In the month of January, I only did one creative unwind of like the whole month, and that was just reading. I think it would have helped if I were like into my book I've been reading this month. It was just like, you know, hadn't been catching me. I'm gonna finish it today, which I'll get to later. So yeah, not a perfect system with phone use in January, but I think especially in the mornings, I really did make a big shift there. So that's progress, and that's what like throughout this whole video I want to convey is like, I know I set out with like lofty goals for like this year and everything, and that's like what I want to get to based on like my ideal life. So, you know, if I'm taking steps towards like that being what I'm able to accomplish every day, then like that's great. So I've seen progress. As for my other morning routine habits, one area that I was flawless at was how this year I've been wanting to make an intentional effort to stop skipping breakfast, like eating 3 whole meals a day and not drinking coffee until after breakfast. And I just feel better. Like I feel energized. I feel like I'm getting my metabolism back slowly to like where it was at before, where I was just like, you know, actually felt hunger. Like what a concept. Other areas that were really easy were getting outside, getting some sunlight first thing in the morning, did my morning skincare routine most mornings, and I got like fully ready like 2/3 of the time, which that's not like an essential goal. I just feel like it was one of those, like when I picture my ideal self, you know, I just feel my best when I feel like I put a little effort into, you know, feeling good that day. And then as for my evening routine, this area was definitely like, I had less energy to focus into the evening at the end of the day versus like the morning. I wanted to do a 30-minute evening cleanup every night just so that messes and things didn't really pile up. And I did that only like 50% of the time. Obviously those little messes add up to be a bigger mess, so then it takes longer to clean. So I end up getting to it and spending the same amount of time that I would have if I just done it every day. I want to get that stat up. If I could get that up to like 75% of days I do an evening cleanup, that would be the goal. And then lastly, my favorite habits I've implemented in January were my journaling and gratitude journal. So it's just like a few lines at the end of every day. I go in and write just like a few things I'm grateful for. I mean, this is so self-explanatory. And then I was using this journal that has just like a different journal prompt every day. There's one page. You don't have to go crazy with it. So I went in full force with that. I was doing it every night. I loved it. Like I think I said in my last vlog, like just doing that for like a week, like my mindset had shifted to a more positive place. I feel like over the past like week or two, I have definitely fallen off a little bit with that. Today we're having a nice little rainy day. It's sunny right now. I think it's gonna rain again after I sort of get to all my other to-do items. What I am looking forward to later is just sitting down, catching up on all of my journal prompts for the month of January. You know, I want my house to be clean going into February. I want to feel like I have a handle on the month, but I also want to feel like mentally I'm taking a pause. I'm just trying to have a mental refresh as well, I guess is what I'm saying. So yeah, right now, kind of what I'm gonna do in here before we move on to the next section is just doing a little bedroom cleanup while we're here. Now to the normal location for my house project tracker check-in. We're filming this in the dining room because this has kind of been the area of focus this past month. As a little refresher, because there are just so many house projects, like big and small, and like things I have big visions for in the far future, or just like little day-to-day tasks that are easy to procrastinate on. I've kind of come up with a little system just to make sure I'm getting to a good amount of those things each month. So that is, I wanted to do one like bigger house project per month, which this month was focusing on the dining room. room. You guys might remember when Giselle and I were in Cabo, we actually bought this painting from a very talented artist there that we got to take a painting class with. It weighs so much, and so Giselle and I were never like down to risk, you know, trying to hang that up at all. We finally found a like professional art hanging service that is now on the wall. We also got art lights for not only that, but a couple other art pieces we have in here. I'll link them below. They're all battery powered, so we do have to recharge them, but we're not using them like every day necessarily, so I think it's fine. And then we also finally hung the final curtains here, and it just feels like a new room in here. Again, my birthday dinner party was in here, so that was just so nice. Moving on to each month, I want to do one little house project. For January, this one we kind of outsourced. This was just hiring cleaners for the month. I talked about in my January reset how I've been kind of thinking through the like buying back your time concepts. So I'm counting that as like our little house upgrade for the month. We also, every month I want to do one big, or it doesn't have to be big, but just like tackling an area of the house, one organization or like clean out project. We kind of did two actually in January. One was undecorating all the Christmas stuff and like organizing that in a better system and filing that away in the garage. And then secondly was the whole garage clean out itself, which was also just so time consuming, but like feels so good that now we know where everything is in there and like we're fully utilizing all of our space better. And then I don't know if I wanted to do one thing I procrastinated on, what my total was here. I guess I'll have it on screen. I did two big things I procrastinated on. One was getting my car's oil changed. That was like 2 months past due. Fortunately, I don't drive very much, so that wasn't a big deal. And then secondly, which I'm like halfway done, but I cleaned out a whole year's worth. Now I have to go back like beyond that. Cleaning out my email inbox. So just a good little digital detox has been so overdue. Lastly in this section, not related to house tasks, but it's kind of like a miscellaneous goal, is that I wanted to read one book per month. And like I said, I just was really not feeling this book. Kind of my to-do item for this section that I'm gonna do today that I'm really looking forward to is sitting down and finishing that book. It's like a very easy read. I just like could not get into the plot. I need to just accept that I'm a thriller girl like through and through. If it's not a page turner, it's not happening. So that's kind of where I'm at. February is gonna be a thriller. So looking ahead to February, I want to run it back. I want to repeat this system. Is like a good cadence of like getting to all of these things. At least it was this past month. And then one last very quick to-do item kind of pertaining to this room is, I mean, it's gonna take me 5 seconds, so I'm just going to finish cleaning up some of the items that I still had not put away from my birthday dinner party. So I'm gonna do that now. So I'm gonna start with taking a look at my health section of my habit tracker. To summarize my trends here, I did really great on my no fast food goal. I wanted to make it a goal of not postmating, which I did the majority of the time. There were a couple weekends where, you know, we did. So as a whole, I feel really good in January. I mean, we cooked the vast majority of the time at home. I just always feel like I'm making healthier choices when like I'm the one cooking it, as well as, you know, saving money there. I checked that I ate balanced most days. But then with my water intake goal, I wanted to drink, I don't have it here, but 5 of my like big Yeti tumbler water bottles a day, and I met it less than 50% of the time. So changing for February, I wanna make this 4 waters a day just to be realistic, because the only days I was really hitting 5 was when it was like go days where I'm like actively like, you know, my thirst needs to be quenched type days. However, my water intake has gone up so much. Like, I don't know, you guys, I could go previously, like, you know, I could go all day with like 1 or 2 bottles of water. So like even 4, it's still progress. And that's what I was aiming for with all of my goals. So steps in the right direction, being amended to 4 per day for February. And then you might remember I was doing kind of, I shouldn't have called it dry January because it was more of like a damp January. 28 of the 31 days, I did not drink unless it was a special occasion. I do just like want to continue with kind of this mentality. Like I said in the last video, I think I'm kind of naturally already at like that habit stage. And then looking at my moods for the month, I started the month feeling super accomplished, very excited for the year. And then throughout, I mean, the most like negative emotion I feel like is on here is just feeling like tired. There was one day where I put depressed, nothing crazy, but just like, it was just like a low day, you know, it was before my period or whatever. So I actually think this is really interesting. Like only in recent months, or probably the past year, have I really given attention to like changes in you know, moods or energy levels when it comes to like for workouts and things like that. So often I feel like I used to just think I was going through phases feeling like motivated or not, and like motivation is definitely a feeling, and like you shouldn't rely on that when it comes to like your willingness to reach your goals. But once you start paying attention, for me at least, those times are really linked to like certain times in my cycle. Starting to pay attention to that and like having these logs like this can be really helpful for like being able to call that out and like not place too much stress or emphasis or feeling badly about how I'm feeling or anything like that, and just kind of taking note of like, okay, like it's that time, this is gonna pass. So yeah, those are my moods for the month. Overall, it was a good month. There were no super anxious, outstanding times that, you know, were ongoing. Now, related to this area, my to-do list item I need to get to is grocery shopping. We have like no food in the house right now, so we've been post-meeting the past couple of days. And then also Giselle and I need to meal plan, which we'll do before we go to the grocery store, which just helps us not buy excessively. So I have a cute little sheet on the fridge that we write all of our meals on. So we're gonna plan that out and go grocery shopping. Yeah. That makes me crave a BLT. We don't like bacon. Do you like fun sandwiches tonight?
Do a turkey sandwich or something. Butter lettuce.
Do we need Parmesan for pesto? Now for our work goals section, I am in Giselle's office for this. I feel like I always set lofty goals here. So my goal was 1 to 2 YouTube videos per week, and I just realized I could see myself in the mirror. I did 3, but the ones that I did post were like, I mean, to me, production wise, like they were pretty time consuming. They're videos I was really proud of. So I do want to get that up for February, even though it is a shorter month. I would like to hit minimum 4. Moving on to TikToks and Instagram. I think my goal was like 3 or 4 posts a week on each of those. I did 5 Instagram posts total and 6 TikToks total, but this is just how it goes sometimes. Is like the irony is that so many things have been filmed and they just have not been posted. So like there's gonna be a stretch of like 7 or so days in a row. Instagram, I just don't take photos anymore. Like, you know how so many people say like Instagram is dead? Like, do you guys think Instagram is dead? Because like I don't ever think about posting photos on there anymore, and I should. It just feels like if I were to post a photo on Instagram, I would be like going out like to shoot it, like something like this, you know? Like, I don't know, what do you guys think? Instagram isn't like front of mind for me anymore in terms of like consumption either. Like I don't really go on there just to like scroll. Yeah, definitely want to get both of those totals up. And just like a final reflection on that and why I think I didn't meet the goals I had originally set out for is that I think I underestimated like the time that it takes to I mean, you know, if I haven't been working out or I haven't been, you know, doing XYZ, it's like that's time I now have to carve out of my day to go to these other areas of my life because I want to achieve this great balance. So in the short term, at least, when I'm like, you know, getting into all of those habits, like maybe my posting quantity would be a little bit lower, but the goal is of course that like that would get back up to its normal state. How that's going to be possible, you might remember I said that I was doing a little trial thing with a management company. So it's like a 6-month trial and then I'll evaluate after that. It was like a lot of onboarding and back and forth for a while, but I kicked that off in the past week and already I'm just like, wow, I can just sit back and relax. Like I get an email and I forward it. Like I've said over and over, but like I do love like the business side of YouTube like equally as much as the creative side. So like, you know, sometimes one part or the other is like what I'm more excited about. But only one part of that can really be outsourced, and that is, you know, the admin side of things. So I am excited. I already feel just like I had my kickoff call with my new manager yesterday, and just like I feel so inspired. Like I've been a one-man show for so long and I like took so much pride in that and I loved it. Like I'm not like saying I regret, you know, doing that for as long as I did, but doing this job like that can also just be really lonely. Like I don't live with other creators anymore. Like I don't really bounce ideas off anyone the same way I used to. And so just like that call, like I was on a high the rest of yesterday and I just feel like just so excited for like the future of, you know, doing this and just being able to have people to talk to and people to handle things for you is such a treat that I'm not used to. So, and then for my to-do list item here, it's really bothering me how I can see myself in the mirror. I'm going to be editing a TikTok that I'm going to be posting tomorrow. I just got a TikTok up today. Then also I'm going to be just doing some calendar planning and review, just adding my dates. It's actually a shared calendar with my manager, so it already looks like I just now accepted this invite. Like I said, guys, this is like getting my life together in the moment. Wow, okay, wow, it's all done for me. She just sent me my calendar and it has like dates that my brand content is due, old dates for like posting and everything like that. So the brand deal side of things is kind of, I guess I don't need to do anymore. This is nice. But I'm gonna go through the rest of my content calendar and like my normal content ideas and just kind of fill those in here a little bit. Now for a little check-in on relationships and friendship goals from this past month. I thought I'd film it from the bar because sometimes Giselle and I make drinks or like apps here at the bar and pretend that we're out at the bar, and it actually kind of does the trick. It's a little placebo. It feels very fun. So my like social goals, I guess, that I set out to do this year were seeing friends at least once a week, and then evaluating like which people I really want to be my like close core friends for whatever reason, and making an effort to see them at least once a month. So I saw friends on actually 8 of the 31 days. I saw 8 different friends throughout the month. My goal of once a month for my close core friends, I saw one of them I didn't see in January, so we're gonna need to make more of an effort in February. We're currently planning something. I think socially that felt like a good balance for me. Like I feel like I was investing my time in friendships that make me feel really good, so I just want to keep that up. And then a few goals with Giselle. As I said, we're just always happy being at home, so I made it a goal that this year I want to have 2 date nights out per month, just in an effort to be out and about, making new memories like that stand out versus just being at home all the time. As well as I wanted to try something new together each month. We actually tried 2 new restaurants. I think both of those were with friends, or no, 3 new restaurants now. Last night she surprised me for a little like end of the month birthday dinner. It was so cute. So 3 new restaurants, and we made 1 new recipe together, and we had 3 date nights out actually. And then one of those was the little staycation at this hotel in LA. And then I had set out to do 2 random acts of kindness, like for strangers, for people I know, for neighbors, for, you know, could be volunteering my time, whatever. I only did 1 of those in January, easing in, like or maybe I'll squeeze in an extra one in February. I just want to keep up with all of this for February. So in the fitness category, my goals have been to get consistent with working out again. So throughout January, I got in 14 really good workouts. It definitely became a little bit more sporadic in late January just because I had my friend in town. So I'm wanting to, you know, kick back into the frequency here in February, starting off today here in a second. All of my workouts this month were either doing 12-3:30 on the treadmill, where I hop on here and watch The Amazing Race, or was playing tennis with Giselle. It sneaks up on you how good a workout tennis is. I feel like I will just be so sore like in my back and arms and stuff. So I count this as a win because this is more than I've worked out in like past months. So in February, I definitely want to get that number up. I also want to kind of pivot a little bit and make more of an effort to get back into strength workouts. The workouts I've been doing lately are definitely very cardio focused, which I think has been great just for my overall endurance and getting that back up, and just, you know, feeling like, okay, I can do this. Like I can stick to these goals. Like it's not like this big like mental hurdle for me anymore to get myself to do a workout. So I feel like that is really good progress. We've checked that off, and now I want to get more into like weights and strength, and even trying finally a boxing studio near here that's just out of my comfort zone to like go try out this new class that's at like a real boxing gym type of place, you know? So I feel like I'm now ready to sort of branch out into that like next level. I feel like weights and stuff like that just always, like I used to hate cardio. Like that was like pulling teeth for me, and like weights was what I loved. Yeah, once I wasn't so strong anymore, I didn't love it so much. And then I set a goal of hitting 7,000 steps a day. I did not wear my watch every single day. There's like probably a handful of days on here that I didn't wear it. Therefore, I may have hit that goal that day and I just don't know. So I only hit that 7K goal 13 times. But let me tell you guys, let me show you a stat here. My average for the month of January is around 6,000 steps per day. So like that is pretty close, you know? Let's look at what it was in December and like every month prior to December. Like I can't even believe that this is like all the steps I was getting in, but when you live a sedentary life, you work from home, like I'm sure there are hopefully some of you guys that relate to that. So I'm really proud of this improvement, whether it sounds like a lot to you or not. Like it was a big effort on my part to make that change. I would like to aim for maybe like, is 20 pushing it? I'm gonna push it. Let's push it. 20 workouts in February. But I'm gonna get to my workout today. Finally, for a little bit of February planning and looking ahead, we're kind of wrapping up this reset here. I guess looking ahead at February, we have Valentine's Day, of course. We're not gonna do anything crazy for that. Our 3-year anniversary of our first date is actually coming up on the 22nd. I don't know what we're gonna do for that as well. And then I just have a lot of really exciting partnerships coming up. One of them actually is a Super Bowl partnership. So it should be a fun month. It doesn't really feel like I'm trying to do anything super different than I was doing it in January. I still just am going to be tracking my habits, trying to get even more consistent with all of those things. But the main areas I really do want to focus on are, first, I really want to stay on track with my gratitude journaling and regular journaling. Second, I, gotten into a good streak with working out. Again, I really want to get more into my strength workouts. Third, I really want to continue with no postmating. And then lastly, for my evening unwinds, such a low goal here, but it's just that I want to have one creative unwind per week where I'm doing something that is like, reading or scrapbooking. Yeah, that is it for this reset. I feel so good. This was like essential for me today to really get my life together. So if you guys like sort of this style, let me know. If you like my typical style, let me know. I can certainly go back to that next month. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments how your resolutions have been going, and I'll see you guys in my next video.